Next bike on the Motorcycle Diaries, it's still Wednesday the 3rd of March, is this. The 10, as in the 2010 Suzuki B King 1300.
This is first template.
First template, look at that. It's only got 49 miles on the clock. Now I had the pleasure of riding the 09 model of this. It's an amazing bike. The engine in it has actually been used in the 2008 Hayabusa. It's a booster engine, in other words. So it's got so much power, isn't it? So much torque. Loads of grunt. It looks like some sort of steroid pumped up squat bulldog, doesn't it? It's the way it's with these massive speed humps kind of at the front that just stick out. And
30 miles an hour, top gear, smooth. Roll, 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 and then the horizon comes at you.
Yeah, and it just goes so quick. So what I'm going to do is brand new, let's say, new tyres and everything else. So I'm going to probably keep it in B mode today, because I'm a wimp. Maybe not though, because it has got 2 modes on the ECU. So early you've got A mode, as you can see on there, it changes. And then you've got B mode. Do that, you can see at the bottom it just changed to the 2. How good is that?
Steering damper is standard.
Steering damper is standard. That's got ABS?
No ABS.
Okay, no ABS, obviously big, huge brakes on
Radial brakes on the front.
Yeah man, in other words, this is one hell of a beast, and brand new is only 8,100. Now obviously this is going to compare really nicely with the Monster I've got at the moment. I'm going to keep on reviewing the Monster for a couple of days, and do the Bandit, then I'll be back on this, and I'm just going to compare the two of them so it'll be perfect, because this comes in at £8,100. £1,900 less than the Monster, but with a hell of a lot more power, and a different engine obviously, inline 4. So I reckon, Jace, thing to do now is for me to get out on the road and give it a go. Sweet. Enjoy. I'll catch you later, brother. Here I am, back from Streetbike on this Suzuki B King 1300. Look at it, it's so menacing, isn't it? From the front, I want to give you that full on front view. Because those shoulders, it's almost like Judge Dredd's motorbike, you know? As always, do the sound test. Now these two exhausts, one of the biggest things you get actually, people happy with this, is that you do swap the exhaust around. But you can actually get, I think Jason said, a Yoshimura one to fit inside these outer cowls, so it doesn't change the whole style of the bike, which is kind of cool. But let's have a listen to what they sound like. There's no doubt it's an impressive sounding bike. Now I'm just going to turn off the ignition, but actually first I'll show you the rest of the dials. Showed you earlier A and B mode, so you've got temperature gauge, fuel gauge. As you can see, it's a fuel much flashing there, which is interesting because a minute ago it was full almost. Time at the top, you can cycle for different information. You've got everything on here: maintenance reminder, lap timer, average speed, miles per gallon, that kind of stuff. It's really useful. Gear indicators on the neck corner for the MPH. Your usual dials there with the selectors and adjusters for your lap time, things like that. Lighting, handouts, very standard. The handles and handlebars, very standard. Your controls for your computer are here. You can find set for your 2 modes, A and B are here as well. That's very accessible. Good under 6, well I take it under 6 stories, not a huge amount. I don't need one, you couldn't get a lid under anywhere. But yeah, one hell of a menacing bike. Now first impressions, obviously I'm going to get back on this in a few days time, but comparing it for instance to the Monster, it's really interesting. I talked about when I was riding the Monster, the difference between a twin and 4-cylinder. I'm just going to turn it off actually so you're going to hear me better. And I suppose one of the biggest differences is that you get on a twin and it feels like a hooligan, you know, it's like, ah, it just wants to rag you everywhere and it's so much fun. You got something like this, it's such a refined bike, you know, it feels like you're getting on something, to say it's menacing, you know it's got all that power there. But when you're riding around nice and smoothly, you really almost don't even notice it. It's just a nice bike. It was really weird for me getting on this actually, after riding, for instance, the Bandit and everything else, and the Ducati. You see how narrow the Ducati is in the middle, look how wide that is there. You felt like my knees were being kind of pushed apart, and when I was changed gear I thought I was going to have to hook myself under, but as soon as you actually relax into it, like 2 minutes down the road you didn't even notice you're riding something so big. It does give you a lot of kind of like, I suppose, weight really, but it doesn't feel unbalanced. It feels really nice. It genuinely, I suppose the word I want to use is it feels refined. I didn't get a huge chance to give it some on the way back, you know, it's no restricted roads or anything, but having ridden one in the past, I do know that once you do kind of get it up there, because it red lines at about 10,500 revs, exactly 10,500 revs, it does really kind of perform. It starts to sing, if you know what I mean. But as I say, just on looks and that incredible engine that you know it's got, it's just a menacing presence on the road, isn't it? And it's very different to something like Ducati Monster. I'm gobsmacked to know this is only £8,100. I really am. That is a huge amount of bike for that amount of money, and it puts it, you know, in that category of, well, as I say, you're looking at the Monster, which is under wraps over there, £11,000 or £10,000 for that. £1,900 less. I love that bike, and when I finish reviewing both of them, obviously I'll give you my opinions. But it's kind of hard to justify when there's so much bike. It's got all the toys and gadgets, but then I suppose that's the difference with the bike. You know, Italian passion and flair, Japanese technology. But yeah, I just keep looking at this. I think the Streetbike looks really nice in there as well. It's really understated. It's a nice bike. So, an exciting day. Took back the Honda Hornet 900, which has been my reliable, trusty steed for all the kind of donkey work journeys I've had to do, and a lot of fun that was. Picked up Suzuki B King, as I mentioned. I've got the Ducati 1100 Monster I'm getting back on now. I'll be taking that tomorrow to the Snowdome, then to Tamworth, doing a few rides on the way back as well. Give you kind of like a bit of my final thoughts on that before I jump on the Bandit. For Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weekend, and then next week on Monday I pick up the VFR. We'll do a bit on this. I'm going to go straight from this onto the VFR, and then from the VFR 1200 from Honda, we'll be on the Rocket 3 from Triumph. So it's a really good comparison of some big bikes. So my friends, until next time, ride safe.